Roguelites and puzzle games are not two genres that cross often. And with the two genres being generally incompatible, I went into Blueprints with a certain amount of hesitation, only to discover a game I thoroughly enjoyed. I am a long-time lover of puzzle games. I have enjoyed everything from old-school point-and-click games from LucasArts like Monkey Island and Grim Fandango to more modern iteration of games like Outer Wilds, Talos Principle, and The Witness, with the Outer Wilds perhaps being closest to the puzzle-like roguelite in Blueprints, though still not quite the same. As while you are constantly repeating the same day, there is really no randomness in Outer Wilds. Instead, it feels like Blueprints took the quintessential roguelite experience, removed the combat, and threw in puzzles instead, and it just works. The basic concept is simple enough. You are Simon, a teenage boy who has inherited a mysterious mansion from your uncle. But there is a caveat. To get the mansion, you must gain entry to the 46th room. A feat that is far more challenging than I originally expected. The game is split into days, and each day you enter into the manor trying to solve the puzzle and find your way to the mysterious room. Each time you have a limited number of steps, which are counted down as you move between rooms, putting a limit on your activity for the day, though often the steps were not the cause of me having to end the day, especially early on. At the start of the game, there are only two fixed rooms in the estate, the entry hall where you begin, and the antechamber across the map, which you will want to go to, simply because it is the only notable thing, and it feels like the first good natural goal. The entry hall has 3 doors which you can open, and that is where the main mechanic of the game comes in. You see, each time you open a door, you will be offered 3 rooms you can create on the other side. Say hello to the roguelike element. Some of these are dead ends, and others have multiple doors, allowing you to progress further across the map towards the antechamber. It sounds simple, but it's far from it. Having only 3 options, it is very easy to paint yourself into a corner, realizing you have no more doors to open, and that day's run is basically done, leaving you no other options but to end the day and start over. You could also run out of steps, and that is gonna force you to end the day. Or you might simply be missing the items required to progress, like keys you require to unlock some doors. No matter the reason the day ends, when a new day comes, you start fresh with all your rooms, items, and currency gone. The typical roguelite gameplay. And of course, in typical roguelite fashion, you can find ways to add some permanent upgrades to make your runs easier, open up new areas, or help you move items across from different runs. As you solve puzzles around the estate or upgrade rooms within the manor, you will start getting these permanent upgrades. Some upgrades are specific to rooms, so when you build them, they might give you better items or other perks. Other things are like starting with a larger step count or having access to separate, unique rooms on the estate. But these are not always easy to obtain, as this is where the puzzle element comes in. And solving these puzzles is not always easy. Often you will find a puzzle in one place and a hint to the solution in a completely different room. Sometimes even to find the hints you might require an item to be able to see it, or you need to deduce things from environmental clues. I found the puzzles ranging from relatively simple to absolutely diabolically complicated, and it was really fun to work with, and at times I did need to reach for some hints from people online just to get me in the right direction of what exactly I was supposed to be doing. But each solution felt very satisfying, either gave me a bit more of the in-game story or permanent upgrades that made my future runs more easy, allowing me to work on even more puzzle solving. But the main strategy of the game is learning how the manor works, managing your steps and rooms, knowing which rooms offer what perks and which drawbacks, and which rooms work well together. As you gain better mastery over the system, it becomes easier to get further and further towards your goal, and it felt like a really good natural progression. And I found the system behind the rooms and everything to be actually surprisingly complicated. The 3 rooms you draw each time you open a door depend on multiple factors like how many rooms have you crafted today, which rooms are in today's pool, and where on the map are you drafting the room. With different rooms being draftable on the east and west side on the map, and some even only being draftable along the edges. The rooms themselves also come in different varieties. The first 2 varieties are obvious. Either the room has more doors in it, or it is a dead end. Some rooms have 1 door, some rooms have more. And while it might sometimes feel wrong to draft a dead end room, it can also be important as this room both can give good items, and it also removes that room from today's pool, meaning you're not gonna run into it when you really don't want it, when you're much further into your run. There are rooms with extra puzzles that you can solve each day. There are other rooms that have mechanical uses, like giving you access to the security system, mess with the water level around the estate, fiddle with the electricity, or gain boosts like more gems, coins, buy items, or eat food to get more stuff. You are always working with 3 currencies: keys, gems, and coins. Coins are used in rooms where you can buy things like books, items, or food. The food will give you more steps, while the items come in different variety. Some of them allow you to dig holes, break boxes, pick locks, or gain more energy from food, or dices to let you reroll which rooms you draw behind the door. Then there are the gems that allow you to draft more valuable rooms, like the stores or security room. And of course, keys let you unlock doors, which matters a lot the further down the map you go, because you will start finding locked doors, and the only way to progress is to get past them. This means the day can end for all sorts of reasons. You were unlucky with the rooms you pulled, you ran out of keys, and now you can't open any doors. Maybe you don't have the gems needed to draft the room you need, or perhaps you simply ran out of steps. The roguelite elements of the game are challenging and fun, though I did find them sometimes to get a little bit in the way of the puzzles, as I did have an encounter where I seemed to never be able to get a certain item in a certain room to be there at the same time. Which got very frustrating. And there were several times I put down the game, swearing I am not gonna play this again, only to find myself playing it again the next night. Because honestly, Blueprints is very fun. I never felt like I didn't have a goal. The antechamber was the first obvious goal, but I found many mysteries and puzzles along the way. So I kept on having things I wanted to explore. Even after I managed to get to room 46, I still have more things I want to explore and figure out. Blueprints is a game that I love and hate in equal measures. I hate it for all the times it killed my runs after 13 minutes, only because it drafted the worst possible rooms I needed at the final moment. But I also love it for the amazing feeling when I actually managed to progress and figure out puzzles, and for how different it is. And especially because after having finished it, I want another game just like it. While I think roguelite and puzzle games don't sound like a good mix, there is definitely something here worth exploring. And with the popularity of Blueprints, I could see more games like this appearing in the future. This might be one of those games that creates a niche within their genre. And for that reason, I would recommend trying out Blueprints, if nothing else than just to try out the game that might spawn others like it in the future. Or perhaps Blueprints will be one-off game. Though I personally hope for the former, as I think there is something interesting we got here. But what do you think? Did you enjoy Blueprints? Would you like other games like it? Let's talk about it down in the comments, and while you're there, do the good YouTube stuff, like, subscribe and all that. You know how this works. And in the end, all I want to say is takk fyrir að horfa og eigðu yndislegan dag.